and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop.
Whoa.
Bom, bom.
Yeah, I sneeze. I sneeze
He's
in,
like a cat.
in
Goodness.
rapid succession.
It's like you were losing your
I'm
breath
like a cat. I got 9 lives.
Man.
And you're a big... Whoa!
Yeah, baby. We have a lot of fun. We are Toucher and Hardy. We are in the Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Those videos are up forever. Forever. Ever and ever.
Yeah, they'll never take him down.
They'll never take them down. So, a big show on the way today, as always. I believe it will be Chris Forsberg's last appearance in studio for quite some time, as we run through our guests one final time now that sports has kind of stopped locally here for a little while.
Suddenly the schedule's empty. Suddenly all that stuff we were writing for the last 5 months, gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Yeah.
Well, it just means that we have to get more creative. But nonetheless, once football ends, then, we still have a Bert. But Bert on Friday, I don't know what exactly we're going to talk about if we have him in for an hour. That's going to be a little difficult to fill an hour of NFL talk in May.
Schedule release. Good schedule release talk. That's next week.
When is the schedule release?
Supposedly next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Bert can just zoom in and we don't have to have him in for an hour because I don't know. I really...
This week, next week.
I actually thought about it either yesterday or the day before because I was thinking, okay, now that all these sports are done and, the NFL doesn't really kick in again until August, that, maybe there's going to be... I try to think of what could we possibly talk about for an hour. I mean, the A.J. Brown trade, I guess, is pretty much happening, and it's going to be a first round pick in 2028, and they're going to get A.J. Brown. So you can go, okay, what are the medicals on Brown? And then why is it just the Patriots? And then you can kind of get to that. Mm-hmm. And then I can't think of anything else. I guess you could ask if Diggs is going to, now that he's been cleared of his charges, I guess the NFL could still suspend him, they're saying, but then you can say, would anybody be interested in Diggs? And then I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. That's about it. We've gone all over the Vrabel and Rossini stuff. I guess Rossini is preparing to speak. Was that in Slack or did I read that on my own?
I think that was in Slack.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that at some point they expect she will tell her story.
Yeah, I did not get home until 9:30 last night from Groton, Massachusetts.
Scenic trip with your parents.
Yes, and the good thing about going to Groton at 3:00 is that it took an hour and 40 minutes, and my dad sucked his teeth the entire time.
Oh my God.
And, he doesn't really know how to talk to people, so but he was in a good mood, so he just asks questions.
Who was in the car?
My mother, my father, and I.
Oh.
Okay.
So my mother sits in the back because my father's the man.
Right.
And, no, I don't know. I guess because he's worse off than she is physically. So, but he's done this for a long time. Since he's retired. Before he retired, he asked no questions, but now he doesn't really know how to talk. I'm not kidding either. He can't really hold a conversation. So what he'll do is he'll go.
Oh.
So the Milo played yesterday. No. Okay. But they play Thursday. No, they play on Wednesday. They play today and Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh.
So, how's this team they're playing? I don't, you know what? Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have access to like, you know, all like the information about these other teams. There's stuff that comes out like every week, but I can't say that I, you know, commit it to memory.
Oh, jeez.
And then my mom, my mom's not as bad, but we were, you know, it took us through Concord. It took us off Route 2 because there was an accident and there's that rotary.
Yep.
I don't know how many people travel Route 2 in out there in Concord, but it's like everything that's good about a freeway with lights and a rotary. So you get to that rotary and traffic is invariably backed up a mile. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's backed
it is.
up 1 mile.
Yep.
And every day. Without fail. I don't know why they should shut that road down for a week. Maybe like the 4th of July or something where there wouldn't be as much activity on that road. And they should dynamite that rotary out of there. I don't know why it's there. I don't know why they don't just put a 4-way light there. I don't know why it has to be a rotary. It makes everything 100 times worse.
But it makes it so much more exciting and dangerous.
The thing is, it's not even like it's not even like it's not like a rotary in the city or something where sometimes they can get gnarly. This is just, it's fine, but it just slows everything all the way down.
There used to be a rotary next to the Alewife Tea Station. You know, that big set of lights at the base of Route 2?
Yeah.
That used to be a rotary. They blew it up. They put all those lights in there. Traffic moves it took maybe 3 days, and then it was done. And they should do the exact same thing.
When did they do that? When did they do that one?
Oh, it's a while ago now. 15 years?
Yeah.
20 years, whatever it was.
And this wasn't, it's annoying, but it was good because it stopped the teeth sucking for 10 seconds. My mom really enjoyed being in Concord because she thought that she was just swept away with the history.
Transported back in time.
Rustic. That's what it is.
But she can't read the signs.
They're too small as you drive by.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to, she kept thinking that every house with like a plaque that said something on it was a historical home.
Right.
Which I guess like they technically are, but I had to explain how every house around there is a quote unquote historical home. It just meant that it was built a long time ago. And if you buy it, you have no control over it. That's what, like, she thought. I had to explain that, you know, these aren't all major historical figures.
But
These
they're
just
registered as national landmarks,
Right.
so you can't do anything to them. Yes.
Well, my daughter's friend in Newton lives in a historical house that's a dump, and it's just in some random neighborhood. It's not even in an old neighborhood.
Is there a carriage house? Oh, they love a carriage house.
No, it's not even that big. It's like a small house. I don't know. It's got a plaque on it. I don't know why that's the one house. Within miles, I would imagine that's a historical house. If there's another one, there's two. Mm-hmm. But this house is not anything. It doesn't look old. It's not nice. It doesn't have any carriage houses or property. It just has a plaque that it was built a really long time ago. And I don't know if that was their decision to put it on there or what the deal is. But it's just so random. But I don't know, I guess, so what's the deal, Hardy? You would probably know this more than anyone because you were a man who works with his hands.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
So is the incentive of buying the historical house that you just, like, that's something that you enjoy and you enjoy, like, the bones of it and the idea that it's been around that long and it's just your personality type? Because it seems like your hands are really tied with one of those things.
But I would think almost the opposite then. If you're not allowed to make structural changes to it, then no, that wouldn't appeal to somebody who's like really good with
No,
stuff
I'm asking you because not that it would appeal to you, but that you would know because you would be turned off by not being able to do anything to it.
Yeah, I would think it would be a bit of a turnoff. The people who are buying them are either just buying them because, you know, this is a house they can afford. And I don't think like all the time there's like any premium paid on houses like that. Might even go the other direction because you can't do that stuff. So people get into them not caring much about the history because it just happens to be where they want to live and that's what they can afford. And then there's probably some lunatics who really get into the historical aspect of things. There's probably some of those people too. Sure. Why not?
It just like they go like, hey, it's just like you pay $1 million, $2 million, $3 million for a house. And then they go, and then you go, well, I want to knock this barn down. They go, oh no, that's not yours.
And it's not a barn. It's a carriage house.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're like, that's not yours. And you're like, well, then what did I buy for $3 million?
Yeah.
I don't understand how that all works. Like, I guess I understand if you buy like the Emerson house or something, or you buy, the white Wiggy McGee.
Yeah,
a guy. Anyone who wore a white wig in the 1700s, I would imagine, controlled a lot of power.
Lexington, where I grew up, is full of homes like that.
Well, it's Concord and Lexington.
Yeah, next to the Battle Green, like the Hancock Clark house, where Sam Adams lived before the fight and then the loss on the Battle Green. They have kept that house pristine, same thing. So Buckman Tavern, which is right next to the Battle Green.
Oh, I could talk about this for hours. I love it.
Yeah, right next to the Battle Green.
You grew up in Lexington, man. You learn these things.
We all supped together at Paul Revere's old copper mill there at Northern Spy in Canton.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But you know what's interesting about John in this room is he's the only one who did not fare as well as his parents economically.
That's true.
Is that John grew up in Lexington and now here he is in Natick.
Yeah.
In a dual income home.
North Natick, from what I understand.
No, he lives in a bigger house than I do. He lives in a nice
right
house.
next to the high school.
Are you in South Natick?
South Natick is where the big homes are.
But which is not a thing, by the way. People just call it that.
They call it that, but that's where the big homes are in South Natick.
Yes. Big home
near Route
Natick.
16. Yep.
Horrible schools. But the
top 50 in last Boston Magazine, Bud. Top
out of
50.
Out of the 50 school districts in Massachusetts?
No, there are more than 50. There are plenty of them. We're ranked in the 20s now.
Better than Springfield?
They're top 50 in the Metro West, where there are 62 school districts.
You see, that's just mean. Natick school system, very good school system.
No, I'm joking.
Very good school system.
Of course I'm joking, Jonathan. But Doug Flutie went there. I mean, how
damn right
bad could it be? They let little guys play quarterback. So, but John grew up in Lexington with a real hotshot dad.
Yep.
And then his dad has to go like, oof. He had to move down a couple towns just to survive, hand to mouth.
What did your dad do? Was he
Dad was a tax attorney.
Did he work on the railroad?
No,
I'm just trying to think just that era that he may have been
He was a tax attorney for the Raytheon
He was Massachusetts' first proctologist. That's why John has such an affinity for behinds.
That's right. My dad was the original ass man.
Yeah. He was trying, he was desperately trying, well, you know what drove him it almost drove him insane. He was trying to perfect the Brazilian butt lift, and he was unable to do so. It's genetic what John's love of ass is.
You know, when he hears something as a young lad at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, once the fuzz got on him.
Papers and beakers being thrown around in the kitchen. I can't get it to work.
But they started investigating him because he was just using humans as experiments. John had this collection of guinea pigs who's with huge asses that his dad was working on. He was experimenting with.
Is that what broke up your parents' marriage?
Yeah, spot on. And that's just what I want to think about. To get that right woman. Dad. Perfect.
That's right. But yes, because Hardy grew up in Canton in the 80s in Michigan, which was really the country.
Yeah, it was kind of
it was
kind of the Canton of Detroit, yeah.
And so, no, you didn't grow up in Canton. Where'd you grow up in Detroit?
Well, no, I grew up in Troy.
Oh, Troy.
Which is kind of the Canton of Detroit.
But is Troy next to Canton in Michigan?
No. I'm saying where
No. I'm asking a separate question. Okay, so you grew up in Troy.
I grew up next, like at where the four corners meet of Auburn Hills, as in the Palace of Auburn Hills, but it was Auburn Heights.
Okay.
When I grew up. That's where I went to high school. Rochester, where Madonna is from. That was the other city at the intersection that I lived closest to.
All right.
Troy, and then the very affluent Bloomfield Hills, where I had some friends I went to school with, but we were definitely not Bloomfield Hills people. We were Troy people.
No,
we
Bloomfield Hills.
Simple country folk.
Got it.
Bloomfield Hills was a very affluent suburb, but the thing about Bloomfield Hills is there was nothing there. So you moved there and you were just completely removed.
There was one McDonald's. There's not a lot else going on. Troy got to be big. I mean, the Kmart World Headquarters ended up moving there. Volkswagen World Headquarters was there. They built a big mall when I was a teenager.
Well, yeah, they built Somerset Mall.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Troy, they opened the floodgates. It's like the Waltham now. No, it is. It's like they let a bunch of corporations move in.
Bit of a rat problem in Waltham, I saw in the news yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I got some rats up and down Moody Street.
No, that's not a good place for them to be.
You know what? Spoiler alert, there's rats everywhere.
Yeah.
You just don't see them for the most part.
Not in Newton.
Oh, there's rotten with them.
Nope. Nope.
They're everywhere.
Nope.
Where there are people, there are rats.
Not true.
It's very true.
Where there are poor people, there are rats.
All right. Well, so in your neighborhood in Newton, yes, there are with all the efficiencies and the
I live by public housing.
Divorced dad weekly rentals. Yes, there are plenty of rats there, not in the nicer places.
Not a weekly rental, but as you know, well, you wouldn't know because, well, John would know this. Once you're divorced, the man signs a document saying that he will live in at least one shared wall. That's the rule when you get divorced.
That's exactly right.
Now, it can be a...
Listen to 12 saying that's right. That's where you lived before 12.
That's where I'll live forever.
And sometimes...
No, when your parents pass away, you and your brothers can fight over the house in Maine.
How many houses do you get to fight over with your brother?
Oh,
your parents?
My parents, they own a second home up in Maine. So
Hell yeah. There's two of them.
Yeah, they can do that. They there's going to be the Chapman fortune is going to become a huge.
Just give me a tent in the side
contagion.
yard. That's all I need.
Okay,
They got that scientific...
I don't doubt it. Will you get that tent from the library?
Yeah, that's their library of things that some libraries have where you can rent things, not just books.
Yeah, Adam goes to libraries and he goes to libraries that have libraries of things. What is that? Well, those are places where you can...
Like if you don't want to go buy a rake, and who has money for a rake?
Sure.
You go to the library of things and you borrow a rake.
You bring it back, yeah.
Yeah, which
Is that a one-day rental? 12?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
If you cozy up with the librarian, maybe you get it for a few extra days. They look the other way.
Yeah. So, Adam, what's the best library in Massachusetts?
Oh, well, you'd have to follow Libraryland on Instagram to find that out. Because
That's
those
Lexington.
guys go all over the place. But yes, the Cary Library in Lexington is quite nice, John.
Mm-hmm.
I love what they've done in my
Is that
town
named
of
after
Woburn.
John Kerry?
No. What's the name?
I have no idea who the Cary Library is
It's a
named
big swinger in the Lexington lore. The
Okay.
last name Cary, but it's a female. I can't remember the name. But
It's a
someone
female.
will email
Never
it.
mind.
You
It can't
remember
be
the
that.
Minuteman Network? You got your...
Yeah,
there it is.
absolutely. I got my library card. Gives me access to all those. Belmont's a nice one to go to. Waltham, right down the street here.
How often do you go to the Waltham Library?
Not often. I'm bouncing in between Woburn and Wakefield because that's where I spend most of my time. The Lucius Beebe in Wakefield is probably my favorite, but it was my hometown library growing up, so
It's
I'm
funny.
partial to it.
If we're like Adam, we need to get a guest from the Herald or the Globe. Adam will have to go to the Waltham Library and pick up a newspaper
Yeah.
and comb through.
Get their email address.
Yeah. Because almost out of cruelty, we'll not give them our accesses to the online editions.
Well, if it were that or actually going and purchasing a physical copy, I kind of don't blame him for that. Beetle walked in with one, a week or two ago? I couldn't believe what he paid for a copy of the Herald. Holy crap.
Yeah.
They're not cheap anymore.
No. One thing, because my daughter goes to the tutor at the Newton Library once a week, and I'll sit there. I don't mind it. It's quiet. I'll in it, and I make myself read there. So for the hour that she's there, one thing I always thought was funny is that they have legal newspapers, like for lawyers. in the Newton Library. So, and they're periodicals, right? Like they're once a week or something. And I just like the idea that the attorneys, I've seen a guy reading it too. Like an attorney came into the library to read the legal newspaper.
So somebody with Esquire after his name is still taking advantage of the free access to the weekly legal newspaper.
Yeah, when your office is the library, maybe you're not the world's most qualified attorney.
He's like the Lincoln lawyer, He's staying mobile.
The optics of that are not overly great.
So you're saying if you had retained his counsel and then you saw him there, you would have second thoughts?
Indeed, I would. I would think this is not an office at all. This is a public area. Yeah. Well, I don't know how expensive the legal paper is, but maybe just for optics. And also, it seems like something that you could write off at the very least. It just seems like if you subscribe to that, you would get that benefit back in taxes. But who am I? I'm no legal or tax expert. All right, Jonathan. Well, did you grow up? You grew up in a historic home?
No, I did not. I grew up, I don't know, less than a mile.
Were you by a synagogue where you could walk?
No, I was not.
Is your father disappointed in you?
No, he's not. He's very proud, actually.
No, he's indifferent.
He's very proud.
No, he's indifferent. He's got his own life. He's living there in Silk Satin, Manhattan. He doesn't need Johnny.
Yeah.
He's like, if you can come with your kids, you stay for 2 days. 3. Unlike my parents who stay for 6 years.
Get here Friday afternoon, leave Sunday morning.
They are leaving Friday, it turns out. They're leaving Friday morning. So I will not see them today. And then I will see them tomorrow. But tomorrow won't be bad because I know they're leaving the next day. So we've got.
Don't you find the mood lightens considerably the last day of any visit like this?
Yes. And they did not bother me yesterday. My dad was sucking his teeth and everything, but I can handle that.
Was he asking you? Now, here's a question.
Not politics or anything involving.
No. When you were there watching Milo, was he asking questions constantly?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because he, due to his physical frailty, had to sit in the front of the on the front of the stands, and you can't really see from there. So I sat back. I sat back in the stands. And Milo actually asked if I would sit with his girlfriend because she was alone. So my ex-wife, myself, and my daughter all sat with his girlfriend. Nice, right?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Yeah, you didn't have to say it. I'll just say it myself. I'm like, you can do, buddy, whatever makes you comfortable, All right. But she was very good. She sat there, and the team was a half an hour late.
Forfeit.
The bases were loaded with 1 out and the team down by 3, and they called it in the bottom of the 7th for darkness, which I can't think can be in any way legal. Like if the team's a half an hour late and then they call it for darkness with the winning run at the plate with 1 out, I have to assume they're going to have to at least reconvene and finish that game if it's necessary in any way.
I'm the opposing team.
Miles' coach was pissed.
Of course.
And I did not blame him. I was like, oh, boy, I just got the hell out of there. I'm like, I don't want to.
Wow.
Yeah, they screwed him. They really did screw him. It's high school baseball. No one did anything wrong, but it's just.
Kids care. Kids care a lot.
The team was coming from basically the Cape, and they took a bus, and they got there like a half an hour late. It was a 5 o'clock game. They didn't start the game until like 5:25. And then you're like...
You got 2 hours to get it in.
Right. And then they called it with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th with the team down by 3. And so you figure
nasty
that you could have at least let it go a little bit. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Did you catch a game last night?
What Happened Last Night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened last evening, if I may ask?
Detroit Tigers playing their, what is this, middle of the 3-game set there, Jonathan?
That is correct.
Detroit? All right.
Yep.
So after taking game 1, 5-4, they get off to a hot start last night. Ceddanne Rafaela.
And a high fly ball right field deep, backing up Perez all the way to the wall. Leaping up, it's gone! It's a home run! Ceddanne strikes for a 3-run shot. Red Sox are liking the sound of those 3-run shots.
And that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
so the quick 3-0 lead. Oh, there was so much more to come from the Red Sox bats.
There's a high fly ball, a deep shot here. This one way back. Contreras hit it a ton. Another Red Sox bomb. And for him, number 8. They are wailing away on this guy. That goes 449.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's good.
Indeed.
11, 12 rows back in the bleachers there at Comerica.
Yeah, so there we go. That's fourth inning, and this was probably the thing that really undid the evening's events.
It's a bat flip, and then there's a javelin throw.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Swinging a shot here by Abreu, and that's going to sail out of here as the Red Sox go back to back. And they are crushing Framber Valdez. Abreu with a laser beam, his 5th, 10-2.
And Valdez is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is good. He had an ERA in the low 3s before last night.
But a bit of a character.
Yeah.
He's got some issues and did not like being taken yard 2 pitches in a row there. So Trevor Story up next.
Trevor Story's going to get drilled.
That's tired.
After the back-to-back home runs, Valdez plunks him, and some of the Red Sox coming out, and some of the Tigers coming out, and both benches are emptying.
You can't get them out, so you throw at them. What a joke.
Red Sox bullpen is about to enter this thing, too, as they race across the outfield grass. No punches or anything thrown.
No, the one guy who caused it's hiding in the back.
All right, so
Valdez is afraid of all of them.
the situation,
He's a little guy.
Before we get to that, Detroit had used the bullpen extensively in each of the last 2 games before last night, including a bullpen game for the first game of this series. So they were short on relievers.
Right, because Skubal had been injured. Right.
So A.J. Hinch is seeing a very good pitcher get beat up. I mean, Valdez was awful last night. But after the back-to-back homers to give the Red Sox 10 runs, Hinch left him out there because he had nobody to bring in, really. So Valdez basically said, you're not taking me out of this game, I quit. And he hit Story with the pitch to get himself thrown out. So there you have it. Bench is empty. Everyone stares at each other. Wilson Contreras is at the front of the line screaming, hold me back, hold me back. Everybody separates, and they walk back to their bullpens and benches.
I don't really understand why they took such offense to that. You see guys get hit deliberately all the time. You see guys get hit in way more contentious ways than that. I don't understand why that set him off so much. You hit him, okay. Big deal.
You protect, quote unquote, protecting your guy. I got to be honest with you. A team that's performed as poorly as the Red Sox have performed here in the first month plus of the season, at least they're together on this. At least everyone came out.
You come out and you stand there, and it's great. But fantastic. They're real team building exercise. But the only thing is that just seems like a random thing to get that pissed about.
Well, Trevor Story has an explanation because you think it makes perfect sense, the timing of it, and what he goes, that was not the right time.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because it's a different game. I think there may be time for it. I definitely don't think that was the time for it, but it's a different game, and you never want to hit someone and hurt them. There's a fine line there, and I don't think you definitely want to hit someone in that situation. So I'm of the old school kind of thought there. But
if you're the old school, then wear it.
Then
you understand.
That's the perfect time
for
a pitcher to throw at a guy.
No. Regardless, if you're old school, then wear it, and there you go. I got hit. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, Trevor Story.
I just saw something the Reds in San Francisco earlier, maybe a week or 2 ago, had a very contentious series, where there were a lot of back and forth. And at the end of a game, the pitcher from the Giants hit a guy from the Reds, and he was just laughing at him. And the guy who got hit was just laughing at him and taunting him, and to the point where it was really driving the pitcher crazy, and then the pitcher corrected the guy out, and then he proceeded to mother F everyone on the way out, and then the benches got out. But the best thing to do is just you went 2 home runs off the guy, you get hit, and you kind of just sit there and laughing at him, you can't get me out, you can't get anyone out. Like you do that. I don't. You just like to take offense to it seems almost counterintuitive. And Valdez is probably like, yeah, you good. Yeah, you're pissed. I want to get out of the game. Like, yes, I did this on purpose.
Of all the people you could have gotten out, Trevor Story would have been one of those guys, too.
And the thing is that
I mean, he's probably grateful for the head to first.
And I also like the notion that Valdez is in any way scared of Story. Valdez it says here is listed at 5'11", 230, so let's call him 5'10", 260. I'm not overly concerned about Trevor Story if I'm him. So, no, he does.
To give Story credit, he wasn't screaming at him as he went to first. He was like, all right, he had his hands up, saying, all right, I'll go to first. Everyone else came out, but Story wasn't turning and barking at him.
I didn't get home till 9:30.
No, but I'm telling you the story.
No, that's why I'm saying fair enough. Thank you for telling me the story because I did not see it. I just think it's an odd, now that it's being relayed to me, fine, good, it's not Story's fault. Then I question the team coming out onto the field.
The team came out on the field. The bullpen's emptied, and Story, to give him credit, wasn't yelling. He's like, all right, I'll just go to first, and I'm fine, and nothing wrong.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I was giving him undue nonsense.
You children get all wrapped up in this nonsense when Chad Tracy is here to talk about what really mattered last night.
Obviously, nice to jump out to an early start, getting the runs early. They come back and get a couple off Joe we get through, but I think the big highlight, obviously the offense and everything we did, but Bayo, just 7 innings, the strike percentage was through the roof, everything was first strike. To see him be able to do that was huge.
Something about the first inning with Brian Bayo, you take that away from him, he comes out, he was lights out. Remember, we were talking yesterday at this time, oh, sure, an opener, that's going to change everything. It did. The opener came out. Moraine gave up 2 runs in the first. Bayo pitched from the 2nd through the 8th, gave up 1 run and 4 hits and struck out 7.
First strike pitches for Brian Bayo.
I don't know what happened. Maybe this is the plan moving forward for the rest of the season.
A first pitch strike. That's not the
wild.
Book. That's not the book on him.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. So there you go. Red Sox have won 2 in a row. They'll win the series. They'll wrap things up today. It's not a getaway game though. It's 6:40 start.
Sonny Gray back from the injured list, pitching tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, so finally things could normalize.
NBA playoffs continued last night. I'll tell you what happened in those games.
There was some hoops.
We continue.
You telling me there was hoops?
Oh yeah.
When I was driving home, I heard Blaha calling the game.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Forsberger will be here later. I can't wait because I texted with him just briefly about that Game 7. And from what I understand so far, he seems to be okay with some of the decisions that were made. I don't know.
You have to question his neutrality then.
Yeah. You see, normally I would, but it's not like he's... Yeah, he's pretty much... He's dug in.
Yeah, I'm questioning his neutrality. If he didn't have any issues with I'm taking the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
All right.
It didn't... I'm just sick of illogical, unintellectualized arguments that just it didn't work. There's not a debate about it. You can go, I know why he tried it, but it was a failure. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it was. The fact of the matter is it was a failure. It didn't work. Therefore, a mistake. You can say this is why he did it, but then you have to follow it up with it didn't work. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you launch some World War II battle and you have some odd idea and then 50% of your troops are lying dead 5 minutes into it. You can't go, well, I know why he did it. I mean, it didn't work. And it's his job to figure out something that will work.
But it was the right decision to at least try it.
He'd give it a swing. What could happen in a Game 7?
Well, when like everyone looks at something and pretty much would have the same opinion on it beforehand and it didn't work, and then it doesn't work, it's hard to defend it.
Yeah, there's just some things that are inarguable, and I'm getting a little sick of like having these roundabout arguments.
You know what it reminds me of, and this is the crossing sports, but this to me is kind of like the Nazi option when you're comparing bad decisions in sports. But it's the Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator decision where people were uniformly across the board.
Yeah.
This is a terrible idea. And then there's a handful of people like, no, this could actually work. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And when it doesn't work, you say, see, it's not like no one told you. Everybody knew that was terrible.
And that's the thing, is that in hindsight, you go, yes, that was a terrible idea. And any argument otherwise is false because it didn't work.
Right. You can't. It's inarguable.
Exactly. It is factually accurate that it did not work. And that is the case with the starting lineup. It's
no longer opinion.
Yeah, like I'm a little sick of sports radio-y crap where there is a fact and then you just run around in circles like explaining it away and you're like, yeah. Problem though. We're getting as a society to a place where we just don't like go, okay, I know that we didn't want any of this to happen, but it is happening.
Yeah.
So we have to do something now. But it shouldn't be happening. Well, it is. So we got to do something. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Big show on the way. Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
You know, you brought up real quickly, the Forsberg, you're kind of foreshadowing that he's going to defend Missoula's decision to start three guys that never start or rarely start, and five guys as a total that had never played together 1 minute during the regular season to start Game 7 of that Philadelphia series. And look, there's times where coaches or management put things together and put down game plans that aren't executed, and it's not their fault. But there are things where it's just a fact that it didn't work. And I'll give you two Patriot examples. Remember when Tavon Wilson was taken in the second round?
I do.
And you went, oh, I don't know anything about Tavon Wilson, but he wasn't invited to the combine. And you go, he wasn't even invited to the combine. And there's just a lot of guys that don't get drafted that are even invited to the combine. People went, this dumbass. And you go, all right, well, that was unusual, but maybe Tavon Wilson will be good. He wasn't. And then the other one is Cole Strange, first round. What are you doing? Well, I don't think he had to be taken in the first round. And guess what? He's terrible.
Very famous video of Sean McVay laughing.
Oh, yeah.
The Patriots and taking him that high.
Once again, like in the moment, a lot of people thought that was an odd choice and proved to be correct.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of NBA series getting underway last night. Detroit Pistons at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Floater, no. Shot clock still running. Duncan from the left sideline for three. And it's through.
What is his name, George?
Dr. Duncan Robinson. The doctor of distance.
Oh, boy.
Let Blaha cook. He was been there since 76.
Boy. Okay.
Cade Cunningham does okay last night. 6 of 19 on his field goals, leading the winners with 23 points. But it was a true team effort as they had 6 players scoring in double digits, 111-101 over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Duren was terrible, and that's the thing that would concern me if I'm Cleveland, is that Duren was absolutely terrible last night, and they were still able to win that game by 10. And by the way, that was tied. The Pistons have been up all game. That was tied with like 5.5 minutes left.
James Harden trying to take over, making it look like it's kind of his team after all, and missing shots.
There's nothing a team wants more than James Harden taking over.
That's not a good idea.
In a playoff game, please, James, dribble the ball.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work. LeBron James took over early last night as the Lakers began their playoff series.
Wallace unlocked it to let SGA go. Again, trying to draw contact. Hit ahead to James. Big opening quarter in terms of points for LeBron.
Yes, 10 of the first 16 points scored by the Lakers, but the problem is they're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Front court, drives and kicks left wing to McCain. He wants 3 off the wing. Give it to him. Ka-ching, the Thunder money ball.
Oh, yes.
J-Mac splashes his second 3 of game 1. He has 6 points. 91-75, Thunder by 16.
That guy seems like he's insane.
Matt Pinto, I believe it is.
Because he just has this compulsion to say that. Like, I have a feeling like if he wasn't able to say it, like if the mic went out,
it'd be like you not being able to say bye as the last word.
That doesn't bother me nearly as much as it bothers others. And John can attest to that.
Originally, it was a Crash thing, right?
I used to forget it all the time, and Crash would go out of his mind.
Yeah.
And then every time I don't do it, it really wouldn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Every time I don't do it, a bunch of listeners get pissed off. For whatever reason, it's scratched a bunch of people's OCD thing.
Yeah.
I don't have that OCD. One thing I don't got is OCD. I got plenty of stuff. It's not OCD.
Couple things about this Oklahoma.
And it's also not jamming in 50 times a game.
Cha-ching, a Thunder Money Ball.
Yeah, that's a little easier to say buy once, a one-syllable word once, than it is while calling a play-by-play game. Conceivably, they make 33s going, cha-ching, a Thunder Money Ball. And then there's like a transition. Like something else is going on, but he's got to get in cha-ching, a Thunder Money Ball.
Yeah. The game, by the way, is far too quick to have this verbal tick. You know what I'm saying?
Cha-ching, the Thunder Money Ball. John Lennon's been shot.
Yeah.
That's if he was calling games in 1980.
Yes.
That's what Cosell originally was going to do on Monday Night Football when the news broke of John Lennon being assassinated. He was going to go, cha-ching, Bradshaw. Bradshaw to Swan. Lennon's been shot. Cha-ching. It's like
cha-ching, puck cleared from the zone. Do you believe in miracles?
Yeah.
It's just such an. It really does border on madness that he has to do that, because it's not even like a sponsor. It's just like his catchphrase. But it's
last year was
one.
there some like mortgage company or something that was there was something from last year's playoffs that was sponsored.
I don't think it matters anymore. I don't think it matters anymore. Real quick, two things about last night. LeBron James, responsible for over a third of the Lakers' offense, had 27 points. Lakers scored 90, and he had 6 assists, and he was 12 of 17 from the field. Guy's 41 years old, and he must look around at that roster and go, oh, my God, what has happened? And I'll give you one guess who fired up more threes than anyone else in the building last night.
I don't know.
Marcus Smart.
Oh, come on. No.
Yep. 8 3-point attempts for your LA Lakers last night. He only made 2 of them. But yep, Marcus took more threes than anyone else in the building last night for the Lakers.
And again, I haven't watched a ton of Lakers this year. I saw the start of whatever game in the previous round, and I saw him in the starting lineup. I'm oh yeah, He's a legit starter. He's out there 32 minutes.
Yes, that's
he's the guy.
Getting back to my original thought, where LeBron must look around and go, "What has happened? What has my career turned into?
What's the world coming to?"
You know, Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart.
2 of 8.
Austin Reeves, not a good night last night.
No,
for the Lakers.
No, 0 for 5 from 3-point territory.
I think 3 for 16 for the game.
Yikes!
Not good.
Yikes! All right, so there was something that we'll have to get to here in a bit, because the draft lotteries took place last night, and a certain person's reaction to the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the draft lottery. But I don't want to squeeze it in now. We'll give it its proper attention a little bit later.
All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment.